I'll start off by sharing a wee presentation with yourselves. Okay, guys, welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Martin Cassidy. I'm Home of Volunteer Centre's volunteer coordinator, and this is our first ever online event. So it's new for me and new for everyone, but welcome to a wee bit of history is being created. So let's hope it goes well. I see everybody already has their microphones on mute and their cameras off, so that's fine. I'm just going to record this session. But everybody's already muted and their mics off, so that's okay. It shouldn't last too long, folks. Probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes, hopefully. If you have any questions, you can pop them into the chat at the bottom of the screen. Or you can just wait to the end of the session, and we'll have a wee quick Q&A where you can unmute yourselves in and ask whatever you feel. So I just want to start off by running through the benefits of volunteering and the way I think you should volunteer. So my top 5 benefits. Number 1 is flexibility. Everybody has such busy lives now, obviously with COVID and the loss of jobs and that kind of thing. People kind of have a bit more time now, which is a good thing. And it gives people a bit more time and possibly to think about volunteering, and that's maybe why you've joined us today. But it can always be hard to find time to volunteer, but that's the beauty of volunteering. You're in control of your own commitment. You can schedule it to work around your family, your work, your lives. Lives are always changing. Commitments are always changing, so you can increase your commitment.
Martin, I don't know if it's just me, but I can't
Yes.
hear you.
At
I
all?
Think there's a problem with your mic, maybe.
Maybe just get closer. Can you not hear me at all? Or is it just quite low? Is it any better, Andrew, if I speak? How is it now? Anybody else? So Amy, you can hear me okay. Lindsay, you can hear me too. I don't know, Andrew. Maria, you can hear me. Everybody else can hear me, Andrew. Maybe try something with your computer or your settings. I'm not too sure. I think everybody else is okay there at the moment. Sorry about that, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. So yeah, flexibility. You know, you can always increase your commitment. Some people might be in a gap year and you can really go gung-ho with volunteering. You can put all the hours in and really go for it and get as much experience as you can. Or you might be retired and you need something to do. Or you might be a student and you just might want to do 1 hour for something you enjoy. So the flexibility of it is ideal. And also, if there's something you don't like in volunteering as, you can always change very quickly as well. Another benefit, one which is most important, I think, is volunteering is good for your health. So volunteering has been significantly, and it's been tested and proven time and time again. It counteracts the effects of stress and anxiety, social contact, and that aspect of helping others. It gives you. I'm just looking at the chat here. Okay, Andrew can hear me now. Thank you, Andrew. Good. Um, so the social contact of volunteering, helping others and working with others, that can have a profound effect on your well-being. We're living in stressful times now, and giving back, there's no better way of relieving stress, um, and having connections to others and having connections to something you care about. Um, Human beings, we're hardwired to give. The more we give, the happier we feel. And when you're doing good for others and the community around you or something you're passionate about, that'll give you a natural sense of accomplishment. Your role as a volunteer, it gives you a sense of pride and identity, um, and you feel better about yourself, and you're more likely to have a positive outlook in life and meet any goals you might have in the future. And for older people, if you're retired or maybe you've lost a spouse or bereaved, it can help you find a meaning. Some people lose meaning in their lives for whatever reason. Give you a meaning, whatever your life situation. Volunteering can keep your mind off those worries and keep yourself stimulated. Another key benefit to volunteering, number 3, is it can help advance your career. You might be unemployed, you might be wanting to change careers. COVID might have brought an end to your career, whatever. Volunteering can help dip your toe in and get experience in a field where you're interested in, and it can help you meet people in that field. And through meeting those people, you can get job opportunities. If you're already within a company volunteering, you're more likely to get a job with them than if you just turned up for interview. You'll know the company culture. You'll get a feeling if you enjoy that field or not. You might, if it's working with animals, you might volunteer with pets and say, "Oh, this isn't for me at all. Try something else. Try volunteering something else." And it's a good way of changing careers and giving you an opportunity to get those workplace skills that are so important. And another, number 4 benefit is making a difference. You can make a difference to something you really care about, working with older people, the environment, whatever, your local community. You can have a real and valuable positive effect on people, which is the priority, the community around yourself, and just society in general. And last but not least is having fun. Volunteering is fun. You should be doing voluntary roles that you enjoy. They're not like work. They're so enjoyable. You have a real passion for it, and if you don't have that passion, you should be seeking another opportunity, because it should be fulfilling, regardless of why you're doing it. So I'm going to run through some of the opportunities and the newest opportunities that Oma Volunteer Centre currently have. These are updating all the time and always changing, but these are some of the newest ones. And it's just a wee small snapshot that I put together tonight, but I'm going to run through these, and I recognize you're getting a lot of information. So I'll send all this out to you via email afterwards. Okay. One opportunity you'll see in the centre is the Befriend Hub. It's run out of Oma Volunteer Centre, but there's also sites in Strabane and Fermanagh. So what the Befriend Hub are looking for are volunteers to make phone calls to older people who may be experiencing isolation and loneliness. This can be pre-COVID or now, because they're shielding or for whatever reason. Ideally, the volunteer, it would suit someone who can commit to 1 or 2 mornings per week. Full training is provided and ongoing support. the project offers free confidential home and telephone befriending services to older people. At the moment, the home befriending isn't happening for obvious reasons, so it's all telephone at the moment. And these services are vital in supporting older people to live independently and stay connected to their community. I volunteer for this myself. I love it. The older people you make such good friendships. Another opportunity, which Oma Volunteer Centre is coordinating. We are currently looking for volunteers of any sort, of any skill set, just to help out with your local community group. So from the beginning of lockdown, we seen and witnessed a huge surge of community support. The number of volunteers registered was like nothing we'd ever seen before. And it was with that in mind, we wanted to harness it and use that tremendous community spirit and keep the momentum going. So lots of local groups came forward with needs, and we're trying to use people's skill sets. You know, you might be good chatting, you might be good with administration, you might be good with marketing, you might be good with any of those. You might just be looking for experience. But what we're doing is just trying to find out what people's skills are and link them up with a need in their local community. It's not something that you're not passionate about, it's something local to you. So we'll try and source that. Another opportunity is a Christmas opportunity that's coming up. There's a local appeal to help Oma families with everything that's going on across the last few months. So many people's incomes have been affected, and children especially have been affected. So there's a project in Oma, and they're looking for people to get involved, and the help they're looking is it'll be probably just before the Christmas parade, and they're at the moment they are collecting items to give to children, toys, and so the help they're looking, and the volunteers that they will be looking, is probably, you know, wrapping presents, making up hampers, delivering hampers, that sort of thing. So if that's something that sounds appealing to yourself, let me know. I've noticed recently, throughout the past 6 months, a lot of the charity shops in Oma have closed. I think 3 to my knowledge, but there's still a couple there, and they're still recruiting. So St Vincent's de Paul and Oxfam and Oma. Charity shops always need volunteers and make a huge contribution to helping people's lives around the world. Responsibilities in a charity shop might be using the shop's guidelines to sort and price donations, providing customer service on the floor, or creating window displays in the shop. So if that's something you might be interested in, maybe you want a career in retail, you know, it's great experience. You might want a career in marketing. Again, you can help out with social media, that sort of thing. Risky Community Centre, they're looking for volunteers to manage a project. So this is a great opportunity for a bit of project management. They have a project called The Quiet Man Conversation. It's for men living in rural areas, where they can contact each other for social conversations about life during lockdown, out of lockdown, an opportunity to connect and reconnect and stop loneliness in rural areas. So it's a great opportunity to help manage and kickstart that project. I don't think you have to be based in Risky or anything. So a good opportunity there too. Oma Parkinson's group, they are looking for a volunteer treasurer. So if you've got a head for numbers, maybe you have someone in your family affected by Parkinson's and that's something you're passionate about. As treasurer, you'll help manage finances of the group and making sure they're spent effectively for people. I have another volunteer opportunity here from Anne Craigan. Craigan is based out towards Cookstown, between Oma and Cookstown. It's in an environmental volunteer opportunity. There's a couple of opportunities here. They're looking for people to help make Tyrone a wilder place. Basically, what they do is, you could be doing anything from working on the bog, taking out invasive species of trees. You could be helping make a community garden, growing herbs, growing vegetables, all that sort of thing. So that's a wonderful opportunity, given in the outdoors. That's every Tuesday and Thursday, running every week. You can go and try it out, or you can come in full time, whatever works around your skill set. So those are just some opportunities that I want to run through. We always have new opportunities. So if there's nothing there that really takes your fancy, just keep in touch, and we can try and seek something that matches your skill set, especially if there's something there that it's quite niche. So really, what's the next step now? You can let me know by email, or if there's any of those opportunities you're interested in. I would like you to subscribe to our newsletter if you're not already, that is. You can do this by going on to our website, omavolunteercentre.org, or just type Oma Volunteer Centre into Google. And you can put your email address into the wee bar on the website that says subscribe to our newsletter. This comes out every couple of months, and it contains 10, 20 volunteering opportunities. Also, you should follow us on socials. So we are constantly active on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. We upload opportunities there every day, and you'll find them there first. So a lot of the time opportunities are taken quite quickly. So that's probably the best way to keep an eye. I would also encourage you to join Be Collective. So Be Collective is a social platform for volunteer management. So I describe it a little bit like Facebook for volunteering. What you do is create a profile, give what your interests are in terms of volunteering, and then you subscribe to whatever volunteer opportunity you want to, and it tracks your hours. So let's say you're doing the on Craigan and you've worked there for 4 hours that week. You can put this on your Be Collective profile, and it'll collect it over weeks and weeks. I know, and it builds up a volunteer CV that's so important that you can go to an employer and say, look, I've volunteered 50 hours for this organization. This is the skills I've got from it. And it's, I myself volunteer unlimited hours, and you lose track. So Be Collective, you can subscribe to it by going to volunteernow.co.uk. Quite simple setup. And also you can find lots of opportunities on there to volunteer locally or throughout Northern Ireland. And finally, if there's anyone amongst yourselves that are aged 16 to 24, I would encourage you to sign up to be a Millennium Volunteer. You can do this by Googling Millennium Volunteer, and it'll take you through to the website. From there, you can download a record book that you can complete all your volunteering hours in. You can do this online or through hard copy. And by doing that, you can earn certificates which build up towards a 50-hour certificate, 100-hour certificate, or 200-hour certificate. And there's a big ceremony, and they also count towards your UCAS points if you happen to be applying for university. But as well, it's so vital to having that on your CV, even if you're applying for work. So that was quite quick, I know, but I wanted to be quite laid back, and I'd just like to welcome any questions you have of any of that information that I just went through. You can unmute yourselves if you want. If you don't have any questions, you can pop them into the chat, or if you don't feel comfortable, I'm happy to take questions via email afterwards. So please feel free to unmute yourselves, or we're finished if you want to head on. You can send me an email, or thank you very much for joining me. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, Martin, thanks for the presentation. Maybe just I wanted to ask, do you have any opportunities specifically for teenagers or young people? Because I have a sister who's at secondary school, and the issue is that at the moment, you know, a lot of the extracurricular stuff at school isn't happening. So she's been thinking maybe she could do some kind of volunteering. So I don't know if you have like age limits for any of those things, like for example, the charity shop or whatever, or...
Yeah, unfortunately, at the moment, nearly all of the volunteering opportunities are for over 18s. So it's difficult for young people to volunteer at the moment. Normally there are so many opportunities there, but just because insurance and for whatever reasons, at the moment it's harder for those young people. But the best thing to do is join Be Collective and create a profile, and get the Millennium Volunteers, you know, just start that process, and maybe look at some volunteering they've already done that they can already log. Like if they've done volunteering in the past, they can still log that towards their hours. They just have to get it sent off by that organisation that they've volunteered for. And I would also encourage, you know, if there's something they are passionate about, you know, speak to the organisation. It's not always that the organisation come to us, you know. They go directly to an organisation, whether it's a local sports club, or they'll normally have opportunities, especially with sports, that they can volunteer through. So that's a way to get started. But like I said, sign up to the newsletter and that sort of thing. And hope I've seen in the past couple of months, volunteering opportunities are coming thick and fast, really, at the moment. So I really would expect more to become available for that age range.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Okay, folks. Nobody else has any questions. Thank you very much for joining me. Get in touch with me anytime. If you want to chat about anything, I can give you a phone call, or we can just chat via email. All right, folks. Thank you very much. I'll look in the chat here. Maria, so you signed up. I signed up for Omagh Volunteer Award through Omagh Volunteer Centre. I never got a code. How do you know how to get your code to re-sign up? And for the Millennium Volunteer Award, can you put down previous hours? Yes, you can, Maria. Not too sure what that first question is, Maria, but send me an email and we can chat about that, about a code. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but send me an email to volunteer@omagvolunteercentre.org, and we can go from there. Okay, Maria. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Thank you, Andrew.